Hello, bonjour, ça va? How are we today? It is Monday, July the 6th, 2026, here in downtown Sarnia, across from Port Huron, Michigan. Just came back from my walk. It's a little bit more, acceptable. We'll use that word. Nice cool breeze coming off of the St. Clair River. Even though it's sunny, it's beautiful. It's perfect. I love it. The only thing I'm not loving, and I didn't yesterday during the rainstorm either, are the Canadian geese. We love them. We do. I don't know. Maybe a love-hate relationship. When you go for a walk, their green droppings are like everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere you step, everywhere you look. There's a whole bunch of them, a flock. Their flocks are gaining momentum here. So yesterday, when it was pouring rain, there was a moment in time when it stopped, and I took advantage of that, and I went out for my walk. However, I was accosted by the Canadian geese. I know, I know. They took over all of the concrete, cement pathways, walkways that we humans like to use. They had vast quantities of grass. Guess they didn't want to get their little webbed feet wet. I don't know the reason. But they wouldn't go on the grass. They made me go on the grass. So I had to walk through that long, very wet grass. Grass cutters were out today doing their job, but not yesterday. No. So, yeah, there was one particular Canadian goose. I thought it was mom protecting her babies, but the babies had no problem with me. Those babies aren't babies anymore. They're almost as big as mom and dad. But I think it was the guardian of the flock. I think it was the male. And he just chased me, like, don't come over here, lady. And he just, oh, they've got this big bulbous nose on their beak and everything. I don't know how to explain it. You can go look it up. But oh, that beak was gone, and the hissing, and the started running after me and flapping its wings. Okay, I'm out of here. Yeah, wasn't fun. But what I discovered, normally when I'm walking through the flock, they just part ways and they let you go. I've seen people on bikes or what else? Big, large groups of families, let's say, but I'm just on my own here walking. So, I don't know why they viewed me as a threat. I'm no threat. The young ones knew I wasn't a threat. But what I was feeling, it was quite interesting because as I walk through the flocks, and they, as I say, they will part ways when they see a human coming, except if their babies, teenage babies are around, then they're a little bit more hissy and protective, but they still make way for you. Unlike this guy yesterday. No way was he letting me through. So, what I have noticed yesterday and today, and perhaps, Mars conjunction with Uranus over the weekend had something to do with it, with stirring up all that anger and temper. I don't know. But I felt their fear, and it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to feel someone else's fear. The young ones, I don't feel or sense any fear from them. Maybe because they don't know, the humans around here are pretty nice to them. Maybe they haven't had any bad experiences with a human just yet. Maybe the older males and the moms, maybe they're a little bit more wary because, we're not always nice, are we, sometimes? Any more than they are. As I walk by, like the moms who are they're kind of close to their babies, I'm going to call. They kind of watch you, they're keeping an eye. They're not saying anything. They're not really hissing, but they come really close to you and they look you all over. And I feel a certain amount of fear from them. And I just say, it's okay. I'm just walking through I'm not going to hurt you. But then there are the protectors, those big guys. And they come along, and the fear from them and the hissing and the, I'm going to shoo you away, attack tactics that they have. That fear that is in them goes right through me, and it's just like every hair on my body stands on end. I mean, it's like a cat when they're in fear and their tail flares their whole body. I've seen it. Had my own cat. The whole body fear reaction where their fur stands on end. They look kind of funny, but they're not feeling funny. They're in fear at the moment. And that's what has happened. And I thought I know it's just a fun fact. Shall we put it that way? I've never experienced that before. I felt a little bit of fear here and there, but nothing like what's been going on yesterday and today. And there are more and more flocks. And I talk to people along the way as I'm walking, and I'm saying, wow, they're getting a little aggressive. And there's a lot more of them all of a sudden, and the flocks are increasing. And I don't know why, but it is what it is. So it's scary to be around them. I don't know if they know something's coming or not, that they're kind of, a little tense and anxious and freaked out here. I don't know. They're trying to tell me something, but message was clear enough. Stay away. Just stay away. I literally did that today. I asked, there's a dock that goes out into the water, and it's a little business, and they sell stuff. I don't know. I've never actually looked into it to know what they're doing there, but there were two young ladies there sitting there waiting for customers to come through, and I looked at them a couple of times and I said, these geese are a little aggressive, and I was wondering if I could use your dock just to kind of circumvent having to walk on the pavement here. And they're going, yep, we know. Yeah, you go right ahead. Because normally they wouldn't let you go on their dock unless you bought some of their stuff of whatever it was they're selling, and boat rides and things like that. So, I mean, that's how bad. I've never, ever seen it that bad. And I've been in areas like Barrie before, as you know, where there's way more than what's here because it's all around Lake Simcoe. Sarnia Harbor is nowhere near as big as around Lake Simcoe. So yeah, I don't know, something's up, but I don't like feeling their fear. It's not pleasant. Wouldn't want to be them, to be living in that much fear. I don't know. And yeah, there's a lot of people who come along with their dogs. Maybe there's been an incident that we don't know about. But bottom line, even nature is freaking out, I think. So keep cool, keep grounded, rest and digest that fear out of you. Because, somebody's got to be the stable one, right? Somebody has got to keep their cool and keep the anxiety level down on your world and on your planet. Because it is getting really crazy with fear out there. So bottom line, we're going to discuss a little bit more as I'm hearing it about your multidimensional line of time. Okay. It's going to be offsetting the lower line time that is not divine. So we're coming here to cross timelines, as we've talked about before. So they're wavelengths of time, and they're being crossed by the old downlines. So you're kind of reliving some of your fear from yesteryear. And as you do this, you will escape from the fear. In other words, you let the fear go. You don't feel as fearful. Somebody ought to tell that, protector of the flock guy out there that he can just settle down, I'm not going to be the one to do it, though. Not going back. Not going back. I'm going to have to find an alternate route of walking until they settle down a bit. So these classes that I've heard that I am to teach about the multidimensionality of spirit light, in other words, of you, of me, of everyone in humanity. These are going to explain more of the process or the synthesis of time, because we're coming online to our divine timeline. As we've heard, we're running out of time. I've heard it to the point where we're out of time. This is not linear time talk. It's more like the stepping outside of time talk. So we're going to rock the truth here. Ooh, that's a different way of expressing. Must have a new guide coming in. Actually, I did hear that. So we're going to be teaching you more about your spirituality too. We're going to be, it's like divination. We're going to talk about more divination tools with you as well. Okay, that's going to be new for me and you. And we're going to discuss more momentums of how to get you through into the higher realms of time that are easier for you. Okay, so maybe what shall we call it? Just making it easier for you to understand and to worry less and to gain more access to your higher codes of light so you can turn yourself on to your higher respite. God bless. We give you peace, love, and light. We're speaking to you from our higher angelic might. Okay, well, there's our little message, along with our very long talk about our Canadian geese. But when those memes come up on Facebook and they show a big long line of Canadian geese at the border, you know, our first line of defense, they're not kidding. These Canadian geese are crazy. It's not that they just run after you flapping their wings, but they can fly and probably pick you up and dump you in the lake. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be the first one to have that experience here. But they're scary and they're nasty. So just beware. If you come over to Canada, you better be prepared. Yeah. Or you're going to end up scared. Anyway, I'm going to go. It's dinner time. I'm hungry. If you want to join our class, you can go to, the Facebook page. So if you scroll down to the bottom of the description box below this video, you'll see a link for my Healing Our Energy Facebook page. You can click on that. Gives you up-to-date information. If you want to join this class, it's next Sunday the 12th from 1 to 3 Eastern Daylight Time. So make sure you convert that to your own time zone. 2 hours. It's going to be recorded if everybody is in agreement. And then I can email that to you so you have a record keeping of all that wonderful channeled information that's going to come through for you. Okay. You have to send me an email at cynthia@healingourenergy.ca because you won't find it on the online booking website. I don't put any of those classes or workshops there, just the sessions, pretty much. I love you always. Take care of yourselves and others, and we'll see you again soon. Hope to see you at the class, in the class. All right. Blessings. Take care. Bye for now.